Majuba. We pay homage, it's the Ilajuba. We seek the great spirit's approval, manifesting the ancestral maneuver. As the Orishas move you, my child, let me speak to your spirit. You warriors calling a little louder, I want you to hear it. Just face it, don't fear it. Your mirror reflection, revere it. Shadow work, you will clear it. Just the seasons will change. You are called to rise. Open your eyes, realize, rearrange. It's not a game, press past through your pain. We are not mediocre nor mundane. You are great now, claim your new name. Break free from the chains. I just want you to see through and see true. See yourself as all of the mind sees you. The God in you, manifest your breakthrough. Standing tall, seeing life from a bird's eye view. While manifesting your Odu. We keep it real, real life and reveal. It's all in me, my destiny. I will find, follow, fulfill my destiny. I will find, follow, fulfill Majuba. We pay homage, it's the Ilajuba. We seek the great spirit's approval, manifesting the ancestral maneuver. As the Orishas move you. Just the Ilajuba.
Abo Rabwe, Abo Shishe, Aboto, Moni, Fa Kolade, Oroko Mini, Ifa Kolade. I am the Oluovidin Kaifa Temple. We welcome you all to our temple today, our Temple Ilajuba service. So, we always like to begin with prayer. So let us start in that way. Olodumare, we ask that you would continue to ward off sickness, ward off cases, controversy, ward off fight, litigation, losses, outright fights, ward off witchcraft and negative energy from us at this time. Please support us, all of those who are watching at this time. If I will call on the holy Odu, Ejobe, wa. If I will, Elanu, the merciful one, Olure, the benefactor, Subemi, the supporter, Magbemiti, he who never fails to give support, Afilara, he who shakes off envy, Loso Toro, he who covers wealth, Eroko, the owl of the waterfront, is the one who gave birth to La Robe, the mother of Oyumbo. Alanu, the merciful one, is the name of Ifa. Ifa, please show my family mercy. Uluri, the benefactor, is the name given to Odu. Odu, please be benevolent to me and all of my relatives so that we can come and show our gratitude. Subemi, the supporter, is the name given to Eshu Odara. Eshu Odara. Eshu Olailu. Please give me and my family your support. Mbangbemiti, he who never fails to give support, is the name given to 140. My Ori, please do not oppose me. Afilara, he who shakes off envy, is the name given to Shango. Shango, please protect me day and night. Loso Toro, he who covers wealth, is the name given to Sapona. Sapona Obaluaye, please do not let me see your wrath. Eroko, the Awo of the waterfront, is the one who gave birth to La Robe, the mother of Oyimbo. Please let all the good things in life be my friend. Nobody can know the names of the 8 of you for that person to suffer from lack of wealth, for that person to suffer from lack of spouse, from that person to suffer from lack of children, for that person to suffer from all the blessings of life. What you should usually use to give all good things of life to a person, which makes that person to succeed, go and use it to bring me my own ire for me and my family. Let me too be very successful. If we ask that you would come and you would support all the members of Idin Kai Satemso. Ward off all death, ward off all sickness, ward off cases and controversy, ward off fight, litigation, losses, and allied fights from us. Bring forth to us long life, wealth, for spouse, for children, longevity, prosperity, victory over adversity, peace of mind, joy, healing, success, and all good things of life. If I ask that you would move my ego out of the way so that we can hear good Ifa from me. Imakami mene ama, Imakami mene ano, Imakami mene adelokun, Ikamole tori Ifa lonini, Ebora timpani ni, Enebanami, Àwọn àti Ifa lelejo. Ifa, please hear our prayers. Oshe Arola, tiny are the feet of two, but the strap of a chameleon is not big enough to use to take it. Had it been enough to use to take it, I would have taken it home and it on my head. Easy, therefore, it's Ifa to Arola. I'm going spiritual mission to a javelin. We call love between sin and Paramount. We call salsa and make rich. We call Arola with respect in a javelin. Oshe Arola, the Garawo, Oshe Tra. I kick in Bagisa. The actor sharply against the tree, passing far for Roman. When he speaks, he buy and I share from all of the money. If no one tells you you should be wealthy, you should surely be wealthy. I kick in Bagisa and the mouth of an orange, I see by and share in the mouth of an owl. If no one tells you have joy, you should have joy. I kick in Bagisa and the mouth of an orange, I see by and share in the mouth of an owl. If no one tells you have victory, you should have victory. I kick in Bagisa and the mouth of an orange, I see by and share in the mouth of an owl. If no one tells you have all good things of life, you should surely have all good things of life. I kick in Bagisa and the mouth of an orange, I see by and share in the mouth of an owl. See, maybe so surely shall it be. Àṣẹ òrìṣà lẹ́nu mi ò, àṣẹ òrìṣà lẹ́nu mi. Bọ́bọ́ tí mo bá màmá wí o, ìrúmọlẹ̀ ó bà. Ifá ó bá o, àṣẹ òrìṣà lẹ́nu mi, àṣẹ o. Bí mo dúró, tí mo súre, bí mo bẹ̀rẹ̀, tí mo súre, bí mo kúnlẹ̀, tí mo súre, bí mo jókòó, tí mo súre. Ìrètí mo ṣù orí ti bọ́. Orí ẹni làrúrẹ̀ ìyá ni ọ̀. Orí ẹni làrúrẹ̀ ìyá ni. Mojú lọ́wọ́ mi ò fà wá mọ́rí. Orí ẹni làrúrẹ̀ ìyá ni. Àṣọ. Gbogbo rẹ̀ ṣáàzú. Ifá ó bá ẹ lọ́rùn. Àdìbàtà jí. Ifá ó bá ẹ lọ́rùn. Oshe Aru Ila Ifá ti bọ́. O Olódùmarè, and all of the Irumole, we ask that you would come and support us. Please support us. Ward off all death. Ward off all sickness. Ward off cases, controversy. Ward off fights. Ward off litigation, losses in an outright fight. Ward off the loads that are on us at this time. And in its place, bring long life. Give us good spouse. Give us wealth. Give us good children. Give us peace of mind. Give us joy. Give us success. Give us healing. Give us the victory. Ashe, Aboru, Aboye, Aboshishe, Aboto. May the word spoken today be accepted by Ifa, the Orisha, the Irumole, and the ancestors, and may all of our Oris accept what we are doing. Thank you once again for joining us. This is Oluwo Ifa Kolade of Idinka Ifa Temple. We welcome you once again. I want to ask everyone, like and share. If you know someone who will benefit from what we're saying today and what we're doing, tag them in. Like, share, help us to go viral for a good thing. Ashe. So let's begin. We want to talk about today's sermon. And today's topic is very interesting. So, folks, we live in a time where people want understanding. And they want understanding, and they want understanding before they are obedient. But Ifa is showing us something different. Healing does not begin with an explanation. Healing begins with compliance. Healing and transformation begins with compliance. Healing does not begin with someone explaining to you what's what. Oftentimes, the healing will begin, the transformation will begin with obedience. Ifa is not confused. Ifa is not vague. Ifa does not whisper and then argue. When Ifa speaks clearly. The question is not, do you understand? The question is, will you comply? The question is not understanding. The question is obedience. Let us look at the Ifa called Ogbe Oturupon. Ifa says, Asumo si abidi jangele. He was the Awokast Ifa for one leg of Ogbe. When going on Ifa mission to the home of Shango, he was advised to offer Ebo, and he complied. One leg of Ogbe, the Awo of Shango, he was the one cast Ifa for Shango when Shango was suffering from a serious ailment and was lamenting for his inability to rise up and be hale and hearty. He was advised to offer Ebo and go to the stream for Ifa initiation. Shango complied. He went for Ifa initiation. After his Itefa, he regained his strength. Please, Arira, the thunder, do not strike there, the house inhabited by the Awo. Arira, do not strike there. Travelers to Ipo and Ofa town, the thunder will never be directed towards the home of Ifa. So this is a very interesting and important Ifa verse. Let me tell you this story and then I'll explain. In this Ifa, Shango was very sick. And at this moment, no one would believe that Shango would survive the illness. Shango was very ill and he was contagious. And he was so contagious that his family and friends even gave him distance because they didn't want to catch what he had. The people were avoiding Shango, and they would only visit him when they wanted his money. When he had no money to give, then the people really began to abandon Shango completely. And they were also worried about getting sick. Shango wanted to know what the solution would be to his illness and also to his future. He went for Ifa consultation and he asked the Awo named Sekan Soso, Ogbe, one leg of Ogbe. And this was the one who cast Ifa for Shango. That was the name of the Babalawo. And then after this, this Awo went and cast Ifa with another Awo named Asumusi Abidi Jangale. Asumusi Abidi Jangale told Ogbe that since Shango was very sick, that the only way he would be helped and healed would be if he went for Ifa initiation. So what had happened is Shango went to one Babalao to get insight. And then when he went to that Babalao said, hold up, I need to go cast Ifa for myself so I can see how to help you. So he did that and came back and gave Shango the remedy. Part of the remedy, as I said before, was Shango needed to be initiated to Ifa. Let's take a pause right there. First, in this Odu, this is the Odu where Shango, the Irumole, was initiated to Ifa. And what we might think to ourselves is, why would an Irumole get initiated to Ifa? Why would Shango need to be initiated to Ifa? These Irumole are very high and powerful beings. Well, I'll tell you, Shango had his destiny, but he needed to know how to fulfill it. How would he come out of this situation? And it is also no secret that Olodumare was also initiated to Ifa. So when we think about these Irumole and how they were able to succeed, how they were able to be triumphant over adverse situations, one key aspect is all of these Irumole complied and obeyed what Ifa said. They obeyed Ifa. So, in this, Shango was initiated to Ifa. And after he went for Ifa initiation, Shango then began to get well. He began to be more healthy. And as a result, Shango regained his health, he regained his money, all after being initiated to Ifa. And he then made the solemn vow that no thunder would ever strike on the home of any good and honest Babalawo. No thunder would ever strike on the home. That was the vow. So he made a covenant with Ifa after this. So let's analyze this. First point, healing is initiation. Healing is an initiatory process. Not only healing, and let's take healing and then also say transformation. Let's also input manifesting your destiny. Let's also put wanting the things that you desire in the world. All of those things are an initiatory process. The process of initiation. What is initiation? Initiation is the process of beginning something or formally entering into a group, often marked with special ceremonies, rites, and instructions. Initiation is a rite of passage that signifies a person moving from one status into another status. Healing is initiation. In order to be initiated, Shango had to submit. He had to submit. And I mentioned again, Shango is this great and powerful Irumole, and Shango humbled himself in front of Ifa. He submitted. What is submission? Submission is the act of yielding to a superior force or authority, to surrender and obey. The act of presenting something and inputting it in for consideration or judgment. But what we want to focus on is yielding to a superior force or authority, the act of surrendering and obeying. Shango obeyed. He obeyed. In this case, that superior force that Shango yielded to was the force of Olodumare. That superior force that Shango yielded to was that force of Ifa. Let's analyze another verse. Let us look at the Odu Ifa Ogbesa before we even get any deeper. Ifa says in Ogbesa, when an uninitiated person proclaims that he is wiser than others, the Babalawo will be the one to have financial gain. These were Ifa's declarations to Arundulu when going on an Ifa mission to Ologele's palace. He was advised to offer Ebo, and he complied. If it is the arms that remain, please speak out and say so. Arundulu, the element of Ogbesa. Arundulu, if it is the legs that remain, please speak up and say so. Arundulu, the element of Ogbesa. Arundulu, if it is the head that remains, please speak up and say so. Arundulu, the element of Ogbesa. Arundulu, if it is the neck that remains, please speak up and say so. Arundulu, the element of Ogbesa. Arundulu, if it is the back that remains, please speak up and say so. Arundulu, the element of Ogbesa. Arundulu, if it is the buttocks that remains, please speak up and say so. Arundulu, the element of Ogbesa. Arundulu, anything that remains, please speak up and say so. Arundulu, the element of Ogbesa. Arundulu. So this Ifa is very interesting. Ifa says in this Odu that illness began as a pain in Ologele's right arm. And Ologele disregarded that pain. Days later, the pain became so unbearable. Ologele was the king of Ogele land, and he was not used to any form of pain. He was irritated with everyone at this time, so he went for Ifa consultation with Arundulu, a very prominent and powerful Babalawo. And Arundulu received Ologele's message, and he went for his own Ifa consultation before he went to help Ologele. So you see the trend. In both Odu Ifa, the Babalawo went for Ifa consultation before they went to consult for the client. Awo need help too. So Ologele called for Arundulu, and Arundulu went for his own Ifa consultation. Why? He's casting Ifa for the king. He wanted to know if he would be successful in helping the king. So the Awo told him that he would. But Ologele was someone who had the belief that he was wiser and more intelligent than any Babalawo. So Ologele would try and outwit Arundulu. He would try to teach Arundulu how to do his own job. The Awo told Arundulu to be very patient with Ologele. He told Arundulu that the so-called smartness of Ologele, the so-called intelligence of Ologele would make Ologele spend even more money than anyone else. Arundulu offered his Ebo very quickly, and he went for Ifa consultation to cast Ifa for Ologele, and the Ebo was for his right forearm. And for that, the Ebo was one he-goat. Ologele thought he was being cheated by Arundulu. So he told one of his servants to go and slaughter the he-goat and only bring back the right arm for the Ebo. They did. And Arundulu, what did he do? he played the fool. He offered Ebo with the right forearm of a he-goat. And, of course, Ologele felt better, and he thought to himself that he was smarter than the Babalawo. The next day, the pain came back, but this time the pain was in the left arm. So Ologele went back for Ifa consultation, and Arundulu cast Ifa and told him Ebo is one he-goat. Arundulu slaughtered another he-goat and brought Ologele slaughtered another he-goat and brought the left arm of that he-goat to Arundulu. Arundulu played the fool and offered the Ebo. This scenario went back and forth at least 6 more times. Arundulu would get sick. He would go to, Ologele would get sick. He would go to Arundulu and cast Ifa. And then Ologele would try to outsmart him and bring a piece of that animal back for Ebo. It was not until Arundulu respectfully said, Kabiesi Oba, you have not offered Ebo with a whole he-goat. All you have been doing is offering Ebo with part of one. What Ifa recommends is one mature he-goat. Ologele remained silent. He then asked one of his servants to go and get one complete he-goat for Ebo. And Arundulu used that whole he-goat to touch every part of Ologele's body. And that was the Ebo that made Ologele to become well. When we think about this, Ologele offered Ebo with 6 more he-goats, 7, 8, two at the beginning, 6 whole other he-goats that were slaughtered, and he brought a piece of them. So that's 8 he-goats that were slaughtered alone, just those. And then the last one, 9 he-goats. All because he would not obey the message. When we think about this, sometimes when you don't listen the first time, you keep working and working in the wrong direction. You keep spinning your wheels. There's an old saying that says, the best of us come from a word, and the rest of us come from a whooping. What that means? That means sometimes you can just see another person fail and be like, I ain't gonna do that. But other folks are like, you know what? I'm gonna taste and see if it's really fat meat right there. I'm gonna see if that really is a problem. I'm gonna test it out, right? And sometimes you don't come back from that test. Ologele seemed to be that kind of individual. Ifa is saying in this Odu that in order to overcome illness and have longevity, we must address health issues completely. Not just health issues, life issues. We got to address them completely, right? We must know the issue inside and out. And when we see this Odu, we know that we cannot just treat the symptoms of the issue. We must address the root cause. We need holistic treatment, whole body treatment. Because in this Ifa, the disease of the arm becomes later the disease of the liver. And the disease of the liver later becomes the disease of the back. Ifa is telling us you need to address it completely. Sometimes your compliance is bigger than needing an explanation. So, in Ogbesa, Ifa shows us some very hard truths. Some sickness remains because instructions are delayed or not followed. Some healing is blocked because we're trying to negotiate. Some recovery requires correction and not comfort. Ogbesa is telling us life force is weakened. Warnings were ignored. The body is asking for rest. The Ori is asking for respect. Ifa is teaching us here healing is not always about adding something. Sometimes healing requires stopping something. So let's analyze these concepts. What is the difference between obedience and explanation? Why is that the concept for today? Obedience over explanation. Well, here's what I mean. First, explanation wants comfort, while obedience requires humility. Explanation asks these questions. Explanation says, why me? You ever been in a situation and you're like, why did this happen to me? The next thing that explanation wants is, do I really have to? Do I really have to do this, Ebo? The next question that explanation wants to know is there another way? Is there another way I can do this without having to spend this money or use these resources or humble myself in this situation? On the contrary, obedience says something totally different. The questions or the answers that obedience says, I will do as instructed. Simple as that. Obedience says, I will rest. Obedience says, I will change. Obedience says, I will follow through. Explanation wants comfort. Obedience wants healing. Where do we get stuck? Here's how we get stuck. We receive divination. We hear the instructions. We have to begin the work. But then we might try to modify instructions. We may delay the Ebo. We may negotiate with the discipline required. We may explain instead of obey. And then we ask, why hasn't my healing come? Why hasn't my Ebo manifested? The answer is very simple. You understood, but you didn't comply. There's a very important aspect of most Ifa verses. It says, he or she was advised to offer Ebo. And then the next line will be, he complied, or she complied, or they did not comply. Essential to transformation, essential to your healing, essential to manifesting the things that you say you want is compliance. It's humility, y'all. It's getting in there. Let me cook. Ifa does not reject medicine. Ifa does not reject doctors. Ifa does not reject herbs, rest, or care. But true obedience looks like this. Obedience looks like following the medical advice, following the medicinal advice from the Awo, honoring rest, honoring boundaries, honoring correction. Healing is holistic. It's not stubborn. If you are sick, if you are desiring your your goals to manifest, if you're desiring your destiny, then obedience means slow down. Obedience means change your habits. Do it different. Obedience means letting others help sometimes. If you are caring for somebody who's sick or assisting someone who needs healing, not only through sickness, but healing of destiny, obedience may mean that you need to be patient. What did Arundulu do for Ologele? He went for Ifa consultation, and Arundulu was patient with Ologele. Obedience means be consistent. Obedience means pray and don't panic. So the transformation point is here. Healing does not need your argument. Transformation does not need your argument. Manifesting your destiny does not mean, it doesn't need your argument. It needs your agreement. Let's say that again. Type that in the chat. Transformation and healing need your agreement. Healing does not need you to argue. Healing needs you to agree. In closing, Ifa is reminding us that obedience and submission are not weaknesses. We know that because one of the greatest, strongest Irumole, Shango, he obeyed. He submitted. Obedience is not weakness, and obedience is also not fear. What is obedience? Obedience is trusting in your destiny. When healing comes, it stays where obedience lives. Example, if the doctor says you need to eat a vegetarian diet, or the herbalist who helps you to overcome your diabetes says you need to continue to consume a high vegetable diet and lower your sweet intake, right? And healing will come after you do that. But healing only stays when you continue to do that. You can't flip-flop on your destiny. You can't flip-flop on healing. So, let us pray. May Ori accept correction. May our bodies receive healing and rest. May our spirits follow the instructions, and may Ifa trust us with healing and transformation that lasts. Ashe, Aboru, Aboye, Aboshishe. Thank you all so much for joining us today. Thank you. I see some people in the chat. Let me include y'all in. So I have a couple of announcements. One is we are doing our classes. They will start back by the end of this month. I'll be announcing one of the monthly classes that will be for everyone. So I'll be announcing that by the end of this month. Possibly this Friday is when it will be conducted. Also, those of you who are interested in learning more about Ifa and learning about this Ifa temple, you can become a member. The membership details are on the website. We're quickly uploading more information about that. So if you're interested, please contact me. Also, those of you who are initiated to Ifa and you would like to become practicing and proficient priests, then we have the Omo Awo program. So if you're interested in learning more, you can comment Omo Awo and we will send you the application. We do the Omo Awo program where we teach you about Ifa. We teach you morning prayers. We teach you how to do Oshe Ifa, how to do Eboriru, how to do Akunlebo, how to perform the marriage ceremony, how to perform the birth ceremony, how to perform various processes within Ifa. So if you would like to learn more about that and be involved, and also be involved in the hands-on building that we do at Idinka, we're in McDonough, Georgia. So if you would like to be a part of that, you can be one of the Omo Awols within the Omo Awol program. I'll be uploading more content as the weeks come, so you can learn more about that. But if you'd like to learn more, please comment Omo Awol. And also, if you'd like to contribute to what we're developing here, you can also donate. All right, you can donate, and the donations can be sent below. All right, thank you so much. Aboro, Abo Shishe, good to see you, Iya. Okay. All right, good to see you, Iya Shannon. Abo Shishe Boto, thank you for joining us. Thank you. All right, Ekaro, thank you so much. Ekaro, Iya Fadeke. All right. Hello, Abo Shishe Boto, Nico. Yes, healing begins with compliance. Good to see you. All right. All right. Yes. Oh, all Irumole and all of the Mayan. So, in terms of this, a lot of Irumole were initiated to Ifa. It is one that was not, and that one was Osain. Osain was not initiated to Ifa, but all others were. Abo Shishe Aboto. Yes. Ashe. Yep. Not thinking fat meat greasy. Ashe. And yes, that would be a very good conversation to talk about Abo Shishe Aboto, the Irumole who were initiated, the Orishas, Abo Shishe Aboto, the Orishas and the Irumole that were initiated to Ifa. We'll talk about some of those much later, but this is a very important concept, as we begin to learn more about Ifa and what is the significance and the importance of Ifa in relation to many of these other aspects associated with, Ifa, with Orisha development, all right, and in the diaspora. These are some things that oftentimes are not part of the story, but we're going to tell those stories within the coming days. So thank you very much. Let us end with prayer. Olodumare, and all the Irumole, we ask for your support. We ask that you would ward off all death, ward off sickness, cases, controversy, ward off fights, ward off danger from us, and bring to us long life, wealth, good spouse, good children, longevity, prosperity, victory over adversity, peace of mind, joy, healing, victory. Bring forth all the good things of life to us. And help us to comply. Help us to obey. Help us to submit to what Ifa has to say for us. Thank you all so much. We'll see you next week. We love you. Aboru, Aboye, Abo Shishe.